None of the women in my life ever talk about money. We'll talk about everything else before we talk about money. I've been bringing to the conversation about investing. Does anyone else want to learn? Hey, look at my Bitcoin. It went up, it went down, it went up, it went down. Do you feel emotional when you invest money and it does something different for the days?
I mean, women are empowered now. They've got millions of dollars. They're boss babes. Why don't they talk about money with each other?
Because they don't have any modeling for it.
I don't feel like I should have any area of my life that no one knows about. There should be no one person that knows everything, because no one person can be my everything for that. That's not really even healthy. But if there's no one area of my life that no one has ever known about, I don't talk about, whether it's good or bad or indifferent, then I think that's something that I'm always examining, which is why I like this question. And to me, the same is in finance, especially if you're in partnership with somebody like your spouse or a partner. And if you're saying, we don't talk about accounts receivable, we don't talk about the taxes that we have to pay, we don't talk about the debt that we're holding, or we don't talk about even our 5-year plan. We don't talk about personal budgets. One of the first things we do with our clients is you say, hey, we're going to need to see your personal budget, because you say that you need $250,000 to live, but we're going to need to confirm that, because what we don't want to do is build a whole corporate structure for somebody and they're like, well, no, we actually really need 350. Well, yeah, but that's now going to be very difficult. So asking those questions, having somebody that you trust, and maybe that's a whole nother conversation. How do we find people? How do we create trust with people? Or how does that trust reciprocally go? How do you manage that? Or do you care?
No, I don't too much. I noticed that lately, none of the women in my life ever talk about money. We'll talk about everything else before we talk about money. So I've been bringing to the conversation about investing. Even if I don't know very much about it, which is awkward because sometimes I don't want to talk. I'm smart and I want to talk about things I feel smart about. So, but I've been bringing to the conversation about investing. And does anyone else want to learn? And hey, look at my Bitcoin. It went up, it went down, it went up, it went down. Do you feel emotional when you invest money and it does something different for the day? So I think that's been the realm I've been playing in, especially around money lately.
Why do you think women don't talk about money? Why is that? I mean, women are empowered now. They've got millions of dollars. They're boss babes. Why don't they talk about money with each other?
Because they don't have any modeling for it.
What do you mean?
You couldn't even get a credit card without your husband's permission until a few decades ago.
That's been a minute.
It hasn't been that long, so there's no model for it. They didn't see their moms talk about money.
Oh, I see.
Right?
I see.
They certainly didn't see their grandmothers talk about money.
Why wouldn't they? Oh, I see.
With
so
one another,
they
might have talked to their spouse, but they certainly didn't talk to their girlfriend, because it would have talked. I mean, I think some of it is very honorable, right? Like you wouldn't, when the man was more the provider in the house, you wouldn't have talked about money with your girlfriends necessarily, because it would have maybe brought shame or also envy. Like that's a whole different conversation, right?
The whole female conversation about statusizing, and now you revealed something about your weaknesses, which we never do in the female.
No. Yeah. And it's become more popular in culture, I would say now, to be very to show your status, right? As far as, handbags and luxury items and things like that. But I would say I'm very careful about that, because I think it's very divisive. I love good design, but I'm very cautious about you don't ever really notice things like that in my life, because I'm much more cautious about thinking through who will be in the room, and am I wearing sneakers that, are the same amount of money as their, budget for something for the month, right?
Well, besides the fact that all those big designers, they have the designs that say Christian Dior and all the other big things for all the poor folks that they can milk money out of. Right. And all the rich folks, they're all super simple, well made, but super simple with no designs on them. You're like, okay, I kind of see what this is about.
Right. Yeah.
So you've been doing this a while, being a woman, and talking to or not talking to your women community, your female community about money. What's the most important thing? And obviously you're my business partner in a structure in a corporate structuring company. What is the most important thing you think women should be talking about?
Retirement.
Retirement?
Retirement. I remember when we first started doing business together, you asked me about my retirement plan. And I literally thought, I don't think about that. Like, it's not even something that's even in my awareness. I do things I love every day, so I don't think about not working. So you literally are like, wait, you're going to keep working for how many years? And I'm like, all the years. And I thought it was very funny that when I asked girlfriends, all of them didn't really think about retirement. I think retirement lives in the land of men a lot of times. And I don't necessarily think that, just like we're not talking about investments, I don't even think we're talking to ourselves about retirement.
Well, so is that because underneath it all, if you're single, that in the back of your mind, you're like, some man somewhere will take care of me. Or if you're married, that the man that I have will?
I think that was an idea. I think it was an idea we grew up with, but I don't necessarily think that most people, it's not that it's not possible for that to happen. It's not probable for that to happen. And also, I think the more conscious you get, you realize you would rather have your partner for a longer period of time than have him kill over dead from a heart attack, from making sure that he could provide, right? I think it's becoming more and more common for there to be a conversation about that his health and well-being are important. And I think I don't know that was a conversation happening in the 80s. I think men were a little bit in a different headspace about that. So I think that's one of the beautiful things about that's been evolving lately, is that they're more like, yeah, I need more rest time. I need more downtime. I think I need more time with friends. I think there's less, not that the hustle culture is still not important, is still not a part of our life. But I think there's now some space opening up around that.
One of my favorite TV shows, there was a quote in there, and some woman who's, found her man. Now she's like, before I found so-and-so, it was all about, how do I find him? How do I keep him? How do I make him do what I need him to do? And now all I care about is, how do I keep him alive longer?
Right.
And to me as a man, that feels so stupid. Because I'm just going to speak personally, what I want to do, I'm here to provide, man. I'm here to protect and provide and create safety and create all of those things. It's my honor to do that. It's my privilege to be able to have, at least here at my age, a physical body and a brain that still works to be able to do it. And for us, I'm going to speak personally, not us men, me, man, I feel like the more I can generate to put away into the safe, the money bags of retirement and or generational wealth, doesn't matter what happens to me. Y'all good. Family's good. Wife good. Children, grandkids, all good. The more I can pack in there, the better off it is. And if I die doing that, that's noble, honorable, and great. Just, in fact. Isn't that bizarre? And you're like, no, screw that. Let's just have you live longer and have less retirement. I know, but somewhere in there, somebody's got to pay the bills.
Yeah, I understand that. I just think that we're starting to have a balance shift around that. I don't know.
But back to your question, back to your conversation of women not thinking about retirement. Is there a logic or a thought process around why that is? Because for me over here as a man, I'm like, I remember that conversation with you well. I'm like, huh? You've worked with billionaires. What? How can you have? So help me understand why is there another sentiment to that?
I don't know. I don't think that much about aging, but maybe that's just me. So I certainly didn't think like you. I remember you were doing the math, and I was thinking, wow, this is crazy. I don't think about it this way. Like, I think about what'll light me up when I get up in the morning, and what will I want to go do, and what will be fun for me. And
we have a mutual friend who I had a multi-month conversation with about this. I'm like, you're 60 years old, working full-time at a job that you hate. Are you still going to be working at this job when you're 70? And she's like, well, no. I'm like, 65? Well, no. 62? Maybe. Do we have an exit strategy for this? Well, no. So it does feel like a big black hole in the future is it seems like what you're saying is now time for the feminine. I'm going to say not just the female, but maybe the feminine is very present, very real, and things are good, then that's great. But future time is like, I don't know, somehow that'll work out magically. Is that, am I getting that, or is there something else?
So. And I think also just, thank God I have a job I like, right? Like maybe if I had a job I hated and I was watching the clock every day, I might be more inclined to be in the conversation about retirement. But I have a job I like. I can't imagine, I don't know what I would do all day. Like, that's the other thing. You're like, retirement. I'm like, that sounds terrible. Like, you want me to sit around and do what all day? Watch TV? I don't even do that now. Like, how is this going to work out? So I would just, I think I would just find something else to do that filled my days and made some money. And
sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Having lived all the different levels of life, I've been wealthy, and I've been completely like homeless, broke. I don't know if I care that much. I care the bills get paid. I care I can be generous when I want to be generous. Everything else doesn't seem that interesting to me. So if retirement is not on the table for women to have a conversation, it's a foregone conclusion then that generational wealth is definitely not in the conversation. No, yeah, that definitely changed. That's been changing more because my daughter has a 2-year-old now. So now I do think about that more. I'm like, that's what we were supposed to be working on. I forgot about that part. So I jokingly started buying lottery tickets when she got pregnant, and she was like, "Why now?" And I'm like, "Well, because he'll need a pony." Right? Like I didn't need money like that before. Like now I want pony money, right? Like have a pony money. So